Hello everyone, welcome to another reading vlog. So it's almost 9 o'clock now and all dressed and ready to go to take on my day, but this morning I'm going to the hairdressers, getting my hair all fixed up and all that for summer, which is very good. I get like my hair straightened and like this part will forever be straight, but like the roots are like, I don't know if you can tell, but they're really curly now, and I haven't had this done since Christmas and my hair has grown back very fast, so I'm very happy about that. It's just I don't have to worry about my bangs curling when it's humid. Like, it makes such a big difference. So it's expensive, but it is well worth it. But in the meantime, I'm trying to think what else I have to do. Today I have to finish my newsletter that will be going out next Friday for my program. I have to finalize my study guide for my candidacy exam presentation, which are like kind of bullet points on some of the things on like why I did things a certain way, get that all sorted out, and then I have to do some reading for my summer class. So it'll be a busy day. Usually the hair thing takes like 2.5 hours, so my day will be pretty much, at least my morning will be pretty much kind of, you know, used up with that. So I'm happy I don't have too much things to do today in the afternoon, but I feel like my stress levels for my candidacy exam, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like your proposal dissertation kind of, you know, defense for that. So I feel like it's been like a roller coaster of emotions for that. So that's on June 2nd, so it's coming up. I'm not so worried about the presentation, it's more the kind of oral questions and just not really knowing what to expect. So that's why I'm kind of doing my study guide and kind of going over everything. So yeah, it's been a little bit stressful over here, but yeah, it's gonna be a hot weekend too. It's gonna be like 31, 32, so we put the air on last night because it was just way too hot in the house and poor Tucker could not handle it. So yeah, I'm happy about that. But before I kind of go to my hair appointment, I'll quickly show you the books that I plan on reading this weekend. So this is the book that I'm currently reading right now. I'm about almost like a 50% through, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about this. The writing is very much kind of, the dialogue feels a little bit strained and unrealistic, which I think she's trying to write in like the 1920s dialogue, but I do like the kind of present day storyline. I don't necessarily like the past storyline as much. So this one's kind of like a 3-star read. This is my book club pick for May and June, so I don't know. I hope to finish this. If I can finish this tomorrow, that would be great. Like I said, it's kind of middle of the road for me. I do like some of the characters and I do like the history it's talking about, but not necessarily the execution of it. And then after that, I received an arc of The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, and I'm so excited for it. I love the Silent Patient, and this one's like a dark academia one, and it just sounds really good. So I think this comes out June 15th or like mid-June. So I'm excited to kind of read this and see what I think. But yeah, that's kind of the general plan for the weekend reading. guys, so it is 9:45 now. I've been up for a little bit actually. I was up around 8 or so. So I was just been relaxing. I ate breakfast, all of that fun stuff. But yesterday was a very good day. So I read about 30 pages in the Paragon Hotel, and I think it's actually really starting to pick up now. Like, remember I was earlier saying that I have a hard time with the dialogue, and I think she writes it in the way that they used to talk back then. And yes, but now I'm like really engrossed in the story. I feel like you can kind of see the how the kind of past and present day storylines are very much interconnected now, and you can kind of see how what the past storylines building up to is ultimately where we meet nobody. But the general premise of the story is it follows a girl named Alice Nobody James, and she ends up arriving in Portland with a bullet wound. So she is kind of taken by one of the train, I don't even know what they call them, but like service people that would like cater, like basically like the train butler, and he brings her to the Paragon Hotel, which is a black only hotel in the area, and she ends up kind of making friends with these people. But this is the time in the 1920s where the KKK is starting to build up momentum, and all this stuff kind of goes around. But I really like it. I think this author has really good writing. She uses words that I don't understand, so I have to look up some of them. But yeah, I definitely am getting more into this now. I'd say this is more of like a 3.5 out of 5 stars right now. We'll see how the ending goes, but I read about 30 pages last night. But yesterday, as you can see, I got my hair done. They always do my bangs a little bit shorter. I asked them to cut it a little bit shorter than what I normally do, because by the time it grows back, like, I don't have to cut it myself as often, but it's a little bit more blunt than what I normally do. But oh well. But it's nice to have straight hair now that I don't have to worry about it basically curling in the humidity, which today is very humid out, so that is good. But I also finished up my presentation, my readings for my class, and then also kind of my study guide for my candidacy exam. I actually know quite a bit on there, but these are like key things that I just want to make sure that I remember. And then we watched some of the hockey game while we're waiting for my mom to be done on the phone, and then we watched an episode of This Is Us, and then I read for a little bit. So I usually don't get a lot of reading done on Fridays, but I'm hoping that will be a little bit different today. So there are a few errands that I want to run. I want to go to Ulta this morning, and then Old Navy, because I think the quarantine weight gain has finally got up to me, and so I need to get a new pair of like summer jeans to wear because none of mine fit. And I definitely once this candidacy exam's over, I can really start going back into working out. Like, I was working out 3 times a week with my sister via Zoom in the beginning of the pandemic, and then I dislocated my rib and I just got out of it because it was painful. And then yeah, I feel like I need to really put my health back in order because I have gained quite a bit of weight over this past year, so I want to get back to kind of like a healthier weight. So yeah, that's my general plan for today. But if I can get that all done this morning, that would be great, and then I can hopefully finish this book today, which is my goal. I know my mom wants to power wash our deck on like the side of the house, and my dad will be working on like setting up lights in the back, so I think I can be able to read in the back, which will be nice. But yeah, it's just a nice, hot, humid summer day, so I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. Just to provide some context, next to the Ulta there is a Petco, and they were going out of business, so I was able to get these 3 toys for $12 for Tucker, and he was ecstatic. So it is Sunday morning now. I've been up for actually like 2 hours now. We've just been relaxing, just enjoying the nice weather, where before it gets way too hot out in the day, so it's a little bit cooler out this morning. But yesterday was a pretty good day. As I said, I went and ran some errands yesterday, and then when I was at Ulta, like next door to Ulta was a Petco that was going out of business, so I was able to get Tucker 3 toys for 80% off, which I spent like $12, which is as much as I spent at Ulta, which is crazy. But yeah, he was, as you guys saw, he was very happy with his new toys. He's just had a really good birthday weekend, or week really. He got Baby Yoda on his birthday, and then he got all these other toys, so I was happy too, because he really likes the Nylabones, and so I was able to find one of those in there, which he really likes. But yeah, we just spent the rest of the day kind of relaxing. It was very hot out, so I was trying to find all the shady spots to kind of go outside and read, and then we watched the Maple Leafs game, and they did really well. They won 5-1, which is exciting to watch. Like, I really don't keep up with a lot of the hockey like throughout the main season, but we would always watch hockey, like the World Juniors, during like when we go home to Canada, and when we were living in Chicago, we'd always watch the Blackhawks. So we kind of been out of the hockey sphere, but I always forget how much I love watching it. So we've been really enjoying watching the kind of the playoffs, so that's been fun. But last night I was a rebel and I stayed up till 11 to finish Paragon Hotel, and this book really grew on me. Like the last like 200 pages were really good. I think the biggest thing with starting this is just getting used to the dialogue that the author uses throughout, and kind of that mafia gangster kind of, you know, very cliche way of talking that's used throughout. I didn't really necessarily like the early parts of Alice's flashbacks, but they're like necessary to the storyline. But I've really kind of liked more of the modern, or the closer to present day narratives from the past. But yeah, this one has an amazing cast. I really like how it sheds light on the violence in America that was going on in this time, not only because of the mafia, but also those sparked by racism with the KKK, and it kind of shows how Oregon really kind of like started that, and how it's still predominantly today a very white city, or state, I guess, especially in Portland. Yeah, I'm gonna say Portland. And you can like see why that was, when like the KKK were going around different towns and just pushing people, black people, out of the way and like scaring them. And it's horrible just reading that. And I remember seeing, like, in history class they would show videos of that, and just how terrifying that is. And I think it's very important to see how far America has progressed from this point, but it also highlights how a lot of similarities to this time in terms of the discourses and how some people feel about it. So I think it's important, like these stories are important because we don't want history to repeat itself, and we need to learn more about these times in order to kind of move forward. So finally we have a finally have a good book club pick that I've actually enjoyed. I think I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 stars, just because I did have a hard time kind of in the beginning, but I really love the cast of characters in here. I love the themes. I really loved everything about it. And yeah, like I said, I was happy that I ended up liking this, because in the beginning I was a bit hesitant, but yeah, really liked it, so that is very good. But then in the meantime, I'm going to pick up The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, which I'm really excited about. I'll write down when this book comes out. I want to say June 15th, because is that a Tuesday? It is, so I think it is June 15th. But yeah, this one I think would be interesting. This author has very lyrical writing, and so I'm very excited to see how this one is. But so like the little tag here is a spellbinding tale of psychological suspense weaving together Greek mythology, murder, and obsession. So I think this one will be really interesting, so I'm excited to pick this one up. But I don't really have any plans today. I do have a Target order to go and pick up, because the pollen around, I never had allergy issues until last year, and I think it's because I've been home basically since the pandemic, and I'm surrounded by all these trees all the time, and it's been high pollen air quality issues all week, and I've been sneezing like crazy. My eyes are itchy, so I just put in an order for some non-drowsy allergy medication to kind of help with all that, because it's literally like, as you guys know, like we're surrounded by trees here. And then my parents are going to a winery near our house, and I am the chauffeur for that, so it's like 5 minutes from here, so that's fine. But I'll be driving there at 5, but other than that, it'll just be me and my brother for dinner. My sister's gonna be out, so just be me and my brother for dinner. I have like some chicken breasts that I already like pre-marinated and put in the freezer, and I think there's 2 of them, so that's perfect. So he likes them when they're like sauteed, so I think once they defrost I'll cube them and then gotta go from there. But yeah, that's just the general plan for today, and yeah. Alrighty guys, so it is the customary end of the vlog wrap up on Monday morning, but I just finished a meeting with my advisor, just kind of going over my big candidacy exam that I have on June 2nd, and I actually feel a lot better about it now, just because I didn't really know what to expect, and like making sure I know things, and like I don't know, I feel a lot better now, and I feel like my stress levels have gone from like at least a 13 to like a healthy 6 or 7 out of 10, so I feel a lot better. But yesterday I was so proud of myself. I finished this book in one day, and I was looking at the Goodreads reviews that have currently been out now on this one, and they seem to be kind of all over the place, but I really liked it. I loved this academic setting. I loved everything about it, but it follows a girl named Mariana who gets a call from her niece saying that her best friend has been murdered, and so she obviously goes to, you know, spend time with her niece at Cambridge where these murders are taking place, and she is very convinced that this one professor is behind these murders, but she can't prove it. So it's basically like the Taylor Swift song, I think he did it, but I just can't prove it. Like, that's what I was thinking reading this. But it was incredibly fast-paced. He mixes in a lot of Greek tragedy and mythology into here, but it wasn't to the point where it was dry. Like, it was done in a very kind of accessible way that wasn't boring and made it easier to kind of like comprehend. So yeah, I really liked that. I loved how fast-paced it was. Like, the chapters are really short, so it's very digestible reading it. The writing style is very good as well. And yeah, I really liked it. I was able to guess, like, literally from the beginning who I thought the killer was, and I was just invested to see if I was right. There were so many twists and turns, and even though I guessed the person who I thought was committing the murders correctly, it was more so like it was the why that didn't really make sense, but I still really enjoyed it. And he kind of had a crossover with one of the characters from his previous book as well, so it's interesting that they kind of take place at, you know, around the same time in the same kind of universe. So I really like this. So if you guys really love kind of you know, psychological thriller murder mystery type thing, then I think you really would like this. So this book was really good. So it comes out June 15th if you haven't already, but I will be having a detailed review come out on that day as well for this, so you can hear more of my thoughts and opinions on it. But I finished this in a day, and that's how you know I was invested. But yeah, it was a very good reading weekend. I read Paragon Hotel, which was a little bit hard to get into, but I was just totally invested in that storyline and those characters. It was very good. I loved that one, and we finally have a book club pick that I think was very well done, so I'm happy about that. And then this one was amazing. So I finished like 2 books this weekend, and it was probably over 500 pages read, so I'm very very much feeling proud of myself. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below all your thoughts and opinions if you've read the Paragon Hotel, like what you thought about it, if you're participating in the book club, and all of that stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.